You were just 9 years when you solved 108 math problems live. How did you even manage to do that?
My mom wanted me to get trained in mathematics, and she brought all these mentors to guide me. And when I got exposed to these global methodologies, started practicing the different math techniques and started solving all these problems. That's when I obviously kind of mastered this skill.
If somebody wants to boost their memory, what's that one simple trick they can start with?
One of the simplest techniques is memory palace, building a simple story. After making a story, it's about placing them into a location.
What's that one big lie all been told about the education system
Right.
that people should stop believing?
You get good marks, your life is sorted out. That is something which is, I think, a biggest lie.
Are toppers really the smartest kids, or do they have an extraordinary memory, in your opinion? Welcome to Breakthrough Moments with Priyanka Bhatt. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about a revolutionary concept in education. Most of us grew up thinking maths is either boring or impossible. But for Nischal Narayanam, it was like a playground. While other kids were memorizing formulas, he was solving complex problems for fun. By the age of 15 years, he had already become one of India's youngest chartered accountants of the country, and later went on to set a Guinness Book of World Record for memory learning. Today, we are diving into Nischal's journey, his phenomenal journey of how he turned his love for numbers into a mission to make learning fun, simple, and powerful for the next generation. So stay tuned till the end of the episode. So welcome to my show, Nischal, Breakthrough Moments with Priyanka Bhatt. Very, very excited to have this conversation. I've been longing to speak to you about this subject, which is so pertinent in the Indian education system. So let's start with understanding why do so many students fear maths today? Is the subject itself boring, or is it the way it's taught in schools?
First of all, a pleasure to be here on your show, and thank you for having me. Math is a very interesting subject. I believe it's more of an art than science, and the way it is taught is the most important aspect. If it is taught in a very abstract manner, in a theoretical manner, with chalk and talk, then it makes kids definitely run away from the subject. But if we teach math in an interesting way, with real life application, through activities, through experiments, through hands-on kinesthetic approach, that will transform the perspective of children towards math.
Amazing. So when you say math is an art more than a science, when you say art, could you elaborate what art means in maths?
In math, the beauty of the subject is not just finding solutions to the problems, but also understanding the pattern and understanding the patterns behind the derivation of the formulas, and also the logic behind the derivation of the formulas. Just to give you a simple example, when I say math is applied everywhere in real life, I can give you a million examples. Uh, the moment you say, how do you calculate height of Mount Everest? You apply trigonometry. How do I get to a place on using Google Map? I use coordinate geometry navigation. So you have a natural disaster like an earthquake. I use Richter scale to measure the magnitude of the earthquake, and the pattern in which birds are flying in the sky to each and every natural phenomena. There's mathematics everywhere around us, and I think if you appreciate the beauty of the subject and the pattern and the logic, instead of just the formulas and the theorems and the rote learning approach to just crack the exam, and if you appreciate the essence of mathematics, that will change the perspective of the students, and they'll believe and they'll realize that mathematics is an underlying element in every subject and every career path you choose, whether it is humanities or arts or commerce or sciences. Every subject has a relationship with mathematics.
Right. So do you think that the current education system is going wrong in terms of teaching or imparting knowledge in terms of maths?
I believe so, because I have been a product of the current education system, and when I was in my class 5, when I was about 10 years old, when I was in my math period, that's when I got the idea to design a mathematics lab. So when my teachers were teaching us geometry concepts, 3D geometry by drawing all the three-dimensional shapes like cubes and cuboids on a blackboard, it is very easy to draw a square on a piece of paper, not a cube. Very easy to represent a circle, but not a sphere.
Yeah.
So when I explored around Hyderabad, do we have any models for math? Do we have any tools for math? Why are we learning in a more of a mugging up and a rote learning approach
Yeah.
and theoretical approach? That's when I realized, except a geometry box, there were no other tools for math. And that's when I got the idea of designing India's first math lab back then, and build a philosophy, a teaching methodology where you teach every concept of math through hands-on activities, real-life applications, and experiments.
Yeah.
So I think this kind of a philosophy, if we can inculcate in every school,
Yeah.
it will transform the way subject is being taught and learned. And I also strongly believe that this will correlate the theoretical knowledge of the subject to the real life scenarios as well. Yeah.
Amazing. No, thanks for sharing that. I think that's a very valuable insight you've given our viewers. More importantly, I'm very intrigued and very fascinated with your journey. You were just 9 years when you solved 108 math problems live. How did you even manage to do that?
A very interesting journey. So that's called Ganitavadhanam, the event. So it's basically Ganit is math, as you know, and Avadhanam means test for human concentration, Sanskrit word for test of human concentration. And usually it is performed in the field of literature, poetry, but very rarely in mathematics, where the answer seekers pose different questions on the subject to the performer, and the performer has to answer all the questions mentally and simultaneously. So 108 answer seekers were around me, posing different questions in the field of mathematics without a piece of paper or a calculator. Obviously, I have to answer everything mentally, and very, very interesting experience and journey to showcase my talent. And thanks to my teachers and my mentors, I've had more than 42 mentors in the field of mathematics since my childhood who have trained me in the global methodologies of the subject. When it's a global methodologies, I got trained in Indian Vedic mathematics, Chinese abacus, or Russian and German techniques, Arabic, different methodologies, and that kind of obviously sharpened the skills, and it gave me a huge exposure into the subject, and made me achieve this rare feat.
Yeah, but my still question is that a kid who is 9 years old
Yeah,
is impossible to remember 108 math problems live.
right.
How is that even possible? Like, how do you? We can't remember even 10, right? So, what do you really do? What is your secret mantra to remember 108 math problems where other kids are still struggling to even remember 10?
No, I think to be honest, it's lot of practice, a lot of uh, consistent efforts in harnessing my skill. So it's by nature and by nurture. So whatever natural abilities I've been blessed with by God, God's grace, I've been very grateful to getting the right support from my teachers and mentors and parents who could identify the right talent at the right age and mentor it. And when I was about 9 years old, that's when my journey with math began. And when I identified a small calculation mistake in my father's account statement, that's when my mom wanted me to get trained in mathematics, and she brought all these mentors to guide me. And when I got exposed to these global methodologies, started practicing the different math techniques, and started solving all these problems, that's when I obviously kind of mastered this skill. And to be honest, at the age of 9, obviously, I didn't even realize significance of this achievement or the gravity of this.
Yeah.
But later on, obviously, when I look back, it's quite a very memorable experience. But at the same time, it's nothing impossible. Every kid can do this. It's just about the right guidance and right practice. And every child can tap into their potential and excel in math.
Yeah. So if you're saying that every kid can do this, then I'm sure there'll be thousands and millions of kids who will come out with flying colors
Yes,
and
they
get
should.
the Guinness Book of World Record just like you in memory learning, right? But I'm sure. So what I'm trying to understand is maybe you got gifted.
It's as I mentioned, by nature and by nurture. So every one of us is blessed with a unique talent, and all by identifying where we are good at, what we are good at, and harnessing that skill. And I believe there are various types of intelligence, as even many child psychologists have published many research reports. So there are multiple types of intelligence. There's logical intelligence, like people who are good at math. There's musical intelligence. There's artistic intelligence. There's even interpersonal communication intelligence, which you are good at.
Thank you
And
for that.
there's physical intelligence, which all the sports athletes they excel at. So we're all having our own unique set of abilities and talent. It's all about identifying where we're good at and harnessing that and practicing with consistent efforts and excelling in your own domain. And
Amazing.
as far as math is concerned, uh, one thing I think all the students should realize is that the math what we learn in school in our conventional curriculum is a very small subset of this vast subject and only one side of the coin. There's much more to math than that.
Yeah.
There are global methodologies, ancient methodologies, and once you start exploring these, you'll enjoy the process of learning this subject, and also you will develop that perspective that it's not just a subject for you're learning for the sake of exams,
Yeah.
but it's a life skill. Math is a life
Absolutely.
skill. Yeah.
Yes, thanks for sharing that, because a lot of people still fear maths and
Yes.
they run away from maths because
Right.
they feel it's hard or it's impossible.
Right.
So I'm hoping with this, a lot of people get encouragement and the confidence
Yes.
to be open minded about
Absolutely.
trying the hands and maths. Now tell me.
Just to add a bit onto that,
Yeah.
the moment you are good at math,
Hmm.
the logics and the patterns what form in your mind,
Yeah.
the analytical thinking, the critical thinking abilities, the logical thinking abilities, you can excel in any field, because the sharpness of your mind and also the ability to comprehend any information, analyze it, and solve a particular problem and address that situation, you will definitely excel in any subject if you are good at math. That's what I strongly believe. Yeah.
Amazing. No, more power to you on that. You were 11 years when you met Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam.
Yeah.
What is that one thing that stuck with you? What is that one thing that stuck with you when you met him?
It was one of the most memorable moments of my life when I got the opportunity to meet the Honorable former President of India, Shri A.P.J. Abdul Kalam ji. And when I went to Rashtrapati Bhavan to receive my award, the Rashtrapati Puraskar from him, as soon as I met him, uh, he just came near me, and the first question he asked me was, Nischal, how many times did you revolve around the sun? I immediately answered as 11 times. So my mom and my dad were just staring at him. What is he trying to ask? What am I trying to answer? He was indirectly asking my age. So as you
Right.
said, I was 11 years old back then.
Yeah.
So he was indirectly trying to understand how old I was.
Hmm.
So we are on Earth. We revolve on sun once in a year. So instead of saying how old directly, he has an indirect way. That one question triggered a lot of thoughts in my mind, that ultimately the true meaning and true purpose of education is fulfilled only when we are able to apply the knowledge what we have acquired in the classroom to the outside world. Otherwise, what is the point, right? So that's what in fact inspired me to continue my academic research, not only in mathematics but in the education domain as a whole,
Yeah.
and bring in a change, and bring in a new dimension of teaching and learning practices through our education company, where we encourage real life application and that kind of a philosophy where you know the purpose of why you're learning something and what you're going to do with it.
Right.
Yeah, that's the
The
most
why is the
yeah,
most important.
the why is the most important. And
Yeah.
the moment you question why are you learning something and how is it going to be useful to me in the real life scenario and how is it going to be applied, that's when the whole perspective of the learning journey changes.
Yeah.
Students become seekers of knowledge,
Yeah.
not just learners.
Yeah.
And they'll also realize the value and significance of it, instead of just learning it for the sake of exams.
Amazing. Wow. Okay, I'm really speechless after hearing a lot of everything that you've achieved at such a young age. So that's so amazing.
Thank
At the age of 12, Nischal, I was also reading that you became world memory champion.
you.
What exact techniques did you use to train your mind, to train your brain?
Memory is one of the most uh, underrated mind sports.
Mm.
Uh, just like how we have physical sports,
Yeah.
we also have a lot of mind sports.
Mm.
So chess is very popular mind sport, for an example. In the same way, there's cubing, there's mental math competition. There's so many mind sports.
Mm.
In the same way, photographic memory is also a mind sport, which not many of us in India are aware of. It is again a transformational uh, skill. It's a life skill.
Mm.
It is scientifically proven that our human mind understands only the language of pictures.
Mm.
Our mind loves visuals, loves stories, and it hates just dry facts.
Mm.
In fact, any statement you hear,
Mm.
any information you read,
Mm.
subconsciously our mind starts converting into pictures and
Mm.
start visualizing it on the back of the mind.
Yeah.
And photographic memory is fundamentally about remembering any information in the form of pictures in a systematic sequence.
Mm.
And these are scientific techniques. So I again was really blessed to get great memory coaches at a young age. I could really nurture this my grasping abilities, my focus, and my concentration,
Mm.
and excel in the field of memory.
Right.
And went on to achieve both my Guinness World Records in memory as well as
Yeah.
win the World Championship in memory representing our country.
Yes.
So it's all about associating any information into pictures and remembering systematic sequence.
Yes.
It's very simple, very easy to learn. A bit of practice, you can really master this. And the moment you kind of become good at photographic memory skills, your concentration is like skyrocketed. And
Yeah.
in everything we do, every activity, the focus, the concentration is so high
Mm.
that you can literally complete that same task
Mm.
in one third or one fourth of the time what you were taking earlier. So that's definitely, it's all about kind of tapping into the potential of the human mind.
Yeah.
That's what
But
memory teaches us.
but not everybody as gifted as you are. Like most of us, 99.9% or even more than that, are not gifted like you. So what is that one uh, trick or tip you would give our viewers today if they had to boost or enhance their memory? Because I know you said at the age of 13 you got a double Guinness Book of World Records. And if somebody wants to boost their memory, what's that one simple trick they can start with?
So one of the simplest techniques is it's called association and
Mm.
memory palace.
Okay.
So whatever information, say you're reading or you're listening to,
Hmm.
or you're in exams you want to prepare for.
Hmm.
So it's just about building a simple story,
Hmm.
blocks of association,
Okay.
and after making a story, it's about placing them into a location. So memory palace, just to give you a small idea, we use actual real life scenarios, real life places.
Hmm.
Like say the studio is there, for example. So the moment I entered into the studio, there's like the parking, the lift, the corridor, the living area, the actual room we're shooting in. So everywhere there's a location, right?
Yeah.
So when in your mind, when you walk through the geographical route, we start placing information into one location.
Hmm.
And when you recall,
Hmm.
you know the route, so you'll recall in systematic sequence.
Hmm.
So when you go back into your house, you know the
Yeah.
you know the layout of your house, right?
Right.
So you're having a living room, you have a kitchen, you have a dining hall, you have a
Hmm.
bedroom, you have a
Hmm.
layout. So what we do is we just start placing information into these locations,
Hmm.
and we recall in the same systematic sequence.
Hmm.
And how do you make stories, it's all about association. So associating different elements in a fun, creative, wild way, which a mind can easily recall.
Wow,
So
very
this is
fascinating.
one of the interesting techniques in memory, using association and memory palace methods.
Yeah.
And the moment you master it, definitely even day-to-day things, you tend to forget lesser.
Exactly. Wow. That's an amazing concept. I wasn't even aware of
Right.
a concept like that even existed. So that's amazing. Nischal, you were 16 years when you graduated. How did you manage to stay focused while others of your age were trying to just figure out school?
Right. Right. Um, I've always believed that there's a price for everything in life in general. You go to a store, you want to buy anything, you pay a price in form of money, right? So obviously, if you want to buy success, the price is hard work, focus, concentration, and patience. And for me, obviously at that teenage, usually you have a lot of distractions, and you kind of tend to not stay focused. But for me, my curiosity and my inquisitiveness uh, was much stronger than my distractions. And it's all about placing the right priorities at the right time. And especially when I was doing my undergrad, my masters, and my CA all at the same time after my 12th. It was one of the toughest, challenging periods, that 5 6 years, because I was doing my undergrad and then my masters in mathematics.
Yeah.
At the same time, during CA final, we have articleship, 3 years of internship with an audit firm. So I worked with Deloitte for 3 years.
Yeah.
So typically, my day used to begin at 5 o'clock in the morning. 6 to 9 a.m. was my classes for CA, and 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. was office at Deloitte. My articleship,
Yeah.
mandatory articles for 3 years, and then evening 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. was again classes. So this was like 18 hours a day of grind for 3 years, and that's when I realized that patience and willpower is even more important than just hard work. And if you're patient and you're consistent, then eventually you will achieve your dreams and success.
Wow, I think this is such an inspiring talk that you're giving. I'm sure the viewers are learning a lot from everything that you're sharing, and you've been at the cusp of, starting at the age of 9, right? So that's phenomenal. I think your journey has been phenomenal. I think I've always been a fan of your journey,
Thank you
and
so
I would
much.
continue to say that whenever I meet you.
Thank you so much.
Did you approach maths differently from the way most kids were taught in school? And if yes, how?
So just to give you a simple example, uh, I used to always uh, be more interested towards the why, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Uh, just to give you a simple example, there's a concept in algebra. Uh, Maybe you might recollect from your school days.
Yeah.
So there's a
Well, I was very
concept.
bad in maths, so I might not even recollect. Yeah.
So a simple concept, say it's about learning factorization of quadratic equations. So when this was being taught in school, the first thing I questioned my teacher was, what is quadratic equation? What is quadrilateral? So how is the terminology quadratic? Is it related to the geometry, what we learn in types of polygons? We have triangles, quadrilaterals, pentagon, hexagon, different shapes, right?
Yeah.
So this terminology sounds familiar. Uh, the quadratic term in algebra sounds very familiar to the term quadrilateral in geometry. Are they even related? That was my first thought. And to my surprise, they're actually related. And a quadratic equation is an equation which can actually be represented as a quadrilateral, like a rectangle or a square. If it is represented,
Yeah.
only then it has perfect factors. Where if you draw a rectangle, the length and the breadth of that rectangle become the factors of that equation. The moment I realized this, that every theorem, every formula can be visually represented, and it can actually be proven through a simple activity, through a simple experiment, without just mugging up the formulas. That's when I realized it is the right way to approach math and the right way to learn math. The conventional approach for the same concept of trying to find the factors of quadratic equation is a formula where we were kind of we taught by rote a method where we have the formula is called minus b plus or minus root b square minus 4ac by 2a. The moment exam is done, 90% kids will forget that formula because they just mugged it up and just applied it. But the moment they just realize that the same equation can be represented as a quadrilateral, they don't need to even learn the formula or by heart the formula, and you can find the factors by just seeing the length and the breadth of this rectangle. They'll never forget.
Right.
Or even a simpler concept, learning a plus b whole square. Lot of kids kind of just like get confused. You can actually make a square on a piece of paper or with some cubes or any objects, a plus b whole square. And when you break down the square, it falls back into the shape of a square plus b square plus 2ab. For any value of a and b, this formula stands good. And if you want to learn a plus b whole cube, you can actually make a cube, a Rubik's cube or whatever, and you break it down, it again falls back into the same pattern of a cube plus b cube plus 3a square plus 3ab square. What I'm trying to explain is that the moment you understand the logic behind that formula or how it is derived and the visual representation of it with a small activity, that transforms the clarity and gives more deeper perspective, and that approach as I indicated will totally change the way of absorbing math concepts. Yeah.
Amazing. And what role did your parents play in this whole, in sharpening your brain or sharpening your memory towards maths, or you becoming like a child prodigy? I would love
Right.
to call you a child prodigy because I haven't met anybody like that. So, what role did your parents play? Was there a specific routine or a method that they followed at home with you?
I've always believed that for uh, any kind of professional success, a stable environment at home is the most critical success factor. And I'm forever grateful to my parents for creating a lovely, positive atmosphere at home, a stable environment where the child can just focus on what they're good at and achieve their dreams. And especially my mom, she has put in an extraordinary amount of effort in during my childhood period, and identifying the right mentors, identifying the right teachers, and obviously setting up a whole schedule, taking care of my academics and balancing it with uh, these kind of extra activities like training memory or exploring math or all these things. At the same time, not compromising on my regular childhood life,
Right.
meeting my friends or watching movies or just going out to play. The way she kind of made sure that I balanced everything, that was the most beautiful aspect. That's why I don't have any small regret or any uh, part of the mind which says that I missed something to achieve this. Because I made sure that 360 degrees I had a very holistic
Right. But you were self-driven.
childhood.
You were self-driven as well, right?
Definitely.
You were always a self-driven child. I mean, you did not need that external validation or motivation
Yeah.
as such, right?
See, at the end of the day, parents can obviously create the right atmosphere, but it is the push of the uh, uh, sorry, just to come again. Is ultimately the parents who create the right atmosphere, but ultimately they can't push you towards your goal. It is a self driven zeal and the fire what you should have towards your goal. So that's very, very important.
Absolutely.
And I think everyone of us should find our passion, and once you find your passion, you'll drive yourself. It is nothing. You don't need external motivation or validation. Yeah.
Right. You know, people often say that, oh, I'm not a maths person.
Right.
So, is this actually true in your opinion, or anyone can become good at maths, say with the right method?
Absolutely. I would uh, strongly advocate that every one of us can be good at math. May not be at the same level of expertise, but we can all definitely get the fundamentals right and at least do away with math phobia. That's for sure. Uh, I'm not going to say that everybody would become Srinivas Ramanujan, but at the same time, uh, none of us will have math phobia. That's for sure. We will enjoy the subject just like any other activity. And the right method of teaching and the right approach towards the subject will, I'm very confident, will remove that fear of math and bring in the joy. Most importantly, math is all about learning through games, puzzles, and quizzes in a very playway approach. For example, a lot of kids love cricket, right? There's so much of math in cricket, uh, starting from the statistics involved in analyzing the player's performance, your strike rate, your average score, to even the complicated concepts like Duckworth-Lewis method of announcing the winner, or even calculating the trajectory of how a ball would go when you hit the six. There's everywhere there's math actually. And just the infographs, what you see on the screen when you watch a cricket match, we can learn a ton of math from that. Lot of concepts. I think if you just shift that perspective, that through these games, through these interactive experiences, through activities, through a kinesthetic approach, if you can teach math, then everybody would definitely love the subject. Just to give you a small perspective, uh, scientifically it has been proven that there are only three learning styles among children, according to child psychologists. One is auditory learning, that's learning by hearing, where kids understand only 40 to 50%. Second is visual learning, learning by seeing, which is 60 to 70% effective. But third is kinesthetic, that's learning by doing. That is by far the most effective approach, where 100% conceptual clarity, the grasping, concept recall, everything is much, much higher. And even the bonding between teacher and the student is much higher in the classroom, as well as the happiness index is much higher in the classroom when you bring in kinesthetic methods. Yeah.
Very interesting. So, do you think, Nischal, technology can really cure the fear of maths, or do you think it's a deeper cultural problem in India?
Technology is only an enabler. Technology cannot cure a mindset, right? So definitely, I believe it's a cultural problem over many decades of having very rudimentary and primitive methods of teaching mathematics, rather than appreciating the science and the art behind it. And unfortunately, it's always a race for exams, race for marks. And when academic year starts, we have a ton of exams. Within the first month, you have midterms. Within second month, you have first term. Within third month, you have again second midterm, then second term, then pre-mock, pre-finals, then final exam. We have almost 6 exams within 8 months of academic year. And in that 8 months also, or say approximately 9 months of academic year, 9 months, the number of working days for any school is just 220 working days.
So, is the current education system to be blamed for this?
I strongly believe that uh, this kind of a pressure or a rat race which has been created over the decades, this trend has to change, and we should first of all enjoy the process of learning. Every day when a child goes to school, they should be happy, they should be curious, inquisitive, and inspired. And when they walk back home, they should walk back with a uh, satisfaction that they've learned something meaningful, relevant today. So in 220 working days, you're having 7 to 8 sets of exams, which is typically less than 20 days per exam. Where is the possibility and the scope even for teachers to constantly try to explore innovative teaching methods? So pressure has to come down, and of course, I'm not saying exams should be removed. Exams are the only way you have to remove the to measure the yardstick. It's a yardstick to measure the child's knowledge and where he is. But at the same time, there's the right balance has to be struck, and also whatever time you are spending in the classroom, instead of just trying to finish the syllabus and rush through the curriculum and the textbook, there has to be a time allocated for the teachers to teach the subject with real life examples, outdoor excursions, games, puzzles, group activities, in a playway methods.
Yeah, in fact, that was my next question.
Okay.
That what are the 3 mistakes that teachers are making today
Right.
that is killing interest for students in maths?
The first thing I would say is chalk and talk. Uh, Please completely avoid chalk and talk. That's been there for decades. It is done and dusted. Chalk and talk system has uh, created more phobia towards mathematics than love. We can teach the exact same concepts and the uh, uh, mathematical theorems and the formulas and all the academic concepts with activities, with experiments, with real life examples, with outdoor games, group activities, puzzles, quizzes, so many things. And once you please shift that perspective, then things will change. Apart from chalk and talk, second, I think most important thing is very less adoption of obviously technology to teach math. There's a ton of tools available, open source as well as paid tools, which give a personalized approach to teaching math, and can analyze every student's strengths and weaknesses, diagnostic tools, which can give a more clarity to the teacher on addressing the needs of the child. So it is like one size fits all kind of a model would not work. To understand every child's challenges, strengths, and weaknesses, that is very, very important. That is not only for math, but that's for other subjects as well.
Because every child is unique, right?
Very unique, and they have their own pace of learning. So that pace of learning to understand, and also where he is good, where he is not good, also have to, children should be analyzed by the teachers. That's very, very important. Have the right diagnostic tools to track the students' journey, the personalization. And I think third most important thing is uh, interdisciplinary learning. What I always feel, I always feel that maths period should be removed in the class, in the school, and should be made as a part of every other subject's period.
Okay, interesting.
So why should you have dedicated maths period when you can make maths as a part of every other subjects, where you can correlate maths to physics, maths to chemistry, maths to biology, everywhere math is applied, maths to history and geography, everywhere there's math involved. So why can't you link the math concepts to the subject you are teaching and teach that relevant content, and where you correlate math to every other subject, and math is part of rest of the 8 periods in school. So you're learning math in a very indirect way. When you're learning physics, you're learning math. When you're learning chemistry, you're learning math. Everywhere there's math involved.
Have any schools put up a proposal like this in front of the government to incorporate this at all?
We encourage a lot of teachers to make math as a life skill, where math is taught along with every subject. So instead of a standalone subject, right? Obviously, if that kind of approach can be implemented and embraced, it's going to be very interesting and very revolutionary for the schools. And a bit of effort is required by the teachers to design the lesson plans accordingly, to design the approach accordingly. But it's very simple, very doable. It's just a little bit of effort. of planning and embracing a new method of teaching math.
I'm
Yes.
sure we're a long way to go with
Yeah.
that, but maybe in the near future, hopefully, the
True.
current education system changes some of those and makes math a less of a mugging up subject rather
Yes.
than,
Yes.
as you said, kinesthetic learning.
Yes. So earlier, just to put it in perspective,
Mm.
uh, obviously we all believe that language is important to express ourselves, to articulate our thoughts, and language is important for every subject, right? In general, because in any subjective examination, the way you present your answer is most important. So when you're giving an importance to language, for every subject it is equally important, right? I would place math right at that pedestal, right next to languages, where math is also equally important for every subject. If you want to excel in that, you want to become a computer scientist,
Yeah.
you want to get into IT and this side, math is the backbone. You want to become a great scientist, math is the backbone. You want to become a great musician, math is again the backbone. Every beautiful painting you see by artists or a lot of music pieces, they follow golden ratio concept of mathematics. So there's so many applications of math in art as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you tell us 5 very unique or
Yeah.
unusual applications of maths which no one has heard about?
Oh.
Yeah.
uh, See, unusual applications of math. There's everywhere. There's mathematics. Now, for example, you wanna get into commerce or finance, right? You wanna
Yeah.
become a financial analyst. There's math involved. You wanna get into stock markets. There's financial engineering. That's completely math and statistics and uh, uh, it's also a set of topics called operational research (OR) subject. You want to get into say biotechnology, right? There's so much of math and genetic engineering and all this. And in fact, we've had a pandemic. How could scientists predict there'll be a second wave, there'll be a third wave, there'll be a fourth wave during COVID pandemic? It's actually topics such as calculus which are used, our basic 12th standard calculus, which is applied in uh, predicting and doing this pandemic modeling. It's called pandemic modeling. So that's how they could predict that COVID is going to hit back again. So starting from pandemic modeling to stock markets to biotechnology to genetic engineering to computer science to learning about the space, the planets, calculation of the black holes, gravity. Everywhere there's math, right? So you can't, without math, you can't even imagine. And uh, when you see a flower right next to you, the pattern of the leaves, the when you crush the leaves. So there's a subject called topology that studies these aspects of geometrical shapes. When you stretch an object, when you bend an object, when you crush an object, how would it impact? And in fact, just a very interesting example. A lot of these days we all use fitness trackers, right? I use one. Like how many of us actually know that the fitness trackers which are used today are based on math principles which were discovered almost 200 years back.
Wow.
So there's a lot of math involved today uh, in our fitness trackers to understand your activity and your body movement and to calculate your calories, to calculate your steps you've walked in every aspect. So I would urge every student to learn math from a scientific perspective, from a research perspective of how this can change the future, and that will really uh, uh, kind of enlighten their minds when you have the scientific rigor.
Yeah. Oh, this is such amazing insights,
Yeah.
Nischal. So thank you for being so candid and sharing that, because these are such gold. I think this is a gold mine what you've shared today on the show. Now let's talk a little bit about memory and learning with students, right? We've always seen students forgetting before they give exams. Why do you think this happens? Is the system broken, or do students have memory retention problems?
No, I think first of all, fundamentally, our mind forgets anything that is not reinforced.
Hmm.
That's uh, proven time and again. Uh, if something has to stick onto your mind for a longer time, it has to be reinforced, right?
Hmm.
So, same thing applies to math
Hmm.
as well, where you learn a concept uh, in a rushed manner just
Hmm.
before the exams.
Hmm.
You want to crack a test,
Hmm.
you just by heart the formula, just have to apply it and
Hmm.
move ahead.
Hmm.
We'll eventually forget. But the moment the teachers take a little bit of extra effort
Hmm.
in explaining the derivation of the formula,
Hmm.
the application of the formula, the kind of the why behind the scenario,
Hmm.
even after the exam, you would never ever forget.
Hmm.
A simple example, in fact, in my school, when I was in my fifth, sixth standard,
Hmm.
so when you're teaching geometry, when you're taught geometry by a math teacher,
Hmm.
we had some simple activities we used to do, and thanks to that, I remember even now the same concepts. Uh, like for example, when you take 3D or three-dimensional shapes,
Hmm.
like so you take a cylinder and you take a cone. It's a formula that the cone's volume
Hmm.
is one third of the volume of cylinder.
Hmm.
So cylinder is pi r square h, and this 1 by 3 pi r square h, which is by heart and we move on. But it's a small activity if we do.
Hmm.
Just fill some water into a cone
Hmm.
and fill it into the cylinder 3 times. Just pour the water 3 times into the cylinder.
Hmm.
After third time, it becomes full.
Yeah.
That small activity, if you make a child do,
Hmm.
they'll never ever forget
Hmm.
that a cone's volume is one third of a cylinder's volume.
Right.
And they will never forget that 1 by 3 pi r square h formula,
Hmm.
even after 10 years after the exam is done.
Hmm.
You're following, right?
Understood. Yeah.
And a simple extension to that is
Hmm.
you take any prism
Hmm.
and any pyramid.
Hmm.
Pyramid is with an apex,
Yeah.
prism doesn't have an apex.
Yeah.
So you take any prism and any pyramid
Hmm.
where base and height are equal.
Hmm.
Base is equal, height is equal.
Hmm.
The prism's volume would be one third. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, the pyramid's volume would be
Hmm.
one third of the prism's volume. So
Hmm.
it fills some water into the pyramid and pour it back 3 times, it'll become full.
Hmm.
So this small activity
Hmm.
will never, you'll ever forget the concept.
Hmm.
We learn in school that say in geometry, you have to learn properties of the polygons we learn.
Yeah.
You have triangles, you have quadrilaterals. Say a simple property like in a triangle,
Yeah.
when you add all the interior angles,
Yeah.
we learn it's 180 degrees. But
Hmm.
how do you prove it? Just
Hmm.
draw a triangle on a piece of paper,
Hmm.
just cut the angles.
Hmm.
Angle A, B, C, the three angles of a triangle.
Yeah.
Once cut it and just join them,
Yeah.
it becomes a semicircle. Semicircle is 180 degrees and circle is 360 degrees. So the
Hmm.
moment an activity, just take 2 minutes of your time,
Hmm.
draw a triangle, make the angles and just cut the angles and
Got it.
join them.
Hmm.
The moment a student realizes it's forming a semicircle,
Hmm.
they'll never ever forget
Hmm.
that sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So this concept,
Yeah.
otherwise they would have forgotten after the exam right away.
Right. So it's practical application that
Practical
you.
application
Yeah.
and engaging with activities, engaging with
Hmm.
these kind of real life application and experiments. That's very,
Hmm.
very important.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Nishal, I wanted to ask you, do coaching classes really make kids smarter, or do you think parents are just wasting their money?
Tricky question, huh? No, but I mean, to be frank, not to offend anyone, if we are getting a personalized uh, approach in the schools itself, uh, why would there be a need for an after school coaching or tuitions or classes, right? Uh, I always believed that uh, when a child is spending close to 8 to 9 hours in school,
Hmm.
that should be good enough. And the rest of the time should be for tapping into his other aspects
Hmm.
and giving him a very holistic childhood,
Hmm.
whether it is sports or arts or so many other things.
Yeah.
So, if schools have taken one step extra, 1 mile extra, if they can go, and if they bring in that personalized approach
Hmm.
for every child, then the need for coaching doesn't exist. At least till 10th grade. Of course, 11th and 12th it's a different ball game
Hmm.
because it's a very competitive world out there,
Hmm.
and every profession you want to get into, whether it is CA or NEET or IIT or law or any entrance test, requires rigorous preparation
Yeah.
because of the sheer demand and supply. uh, that is when I think maybe extra few hours of coaching is helpful.
Yeah.
But up to 10th, I don't think there's really a need for such strong
Right.
demand for coaching is not there if the problem is addressed in the school itself.
Right. If
Yeah.
the subjects are taught in a very practical and a
Practical way and
hands-on way.
personalized way, and
Yeah.
yeah,
So what do you think is going to happen by 2030? Do you think AI or VR are going to replace teachers in schools?
not at all. I've always believed that technology, whether it is of our AR, VR technologies, or even our labs,
Hmm.
or even AI,
Hmm.
uh, will complement
Hmm.
teachers' efforts,
Hmm.
augment teachers' efforts,
Hmm.
will be a very big productivity booster for teachers, and will be a great co-pilot for teachers.
Hmm.
It will never ever replace a teacher in the school.
Hmm.
And for us, especially in India, we've always believed that education is all about imparting knowledge and inculcating values,
Hmm.
both. So, teachers are the ones who will motivate us, inspire us,
Hmm.
uh, teach us empathy, teach us social skills, and teach us character.
Hmm.
And also, uh, technology will definitely be a great co-pilot
Yeah.
to augment and standardize the quality of teaching. But ultimately, the teacher's guidance and
Hmm.
personal care and approach and the human quotient, uh, which will make the learning journey
More fun.
complete.
Hmm.
Complete.
Right.
Otherwise, it'll always be incomplete.
And Nischal, today there is so much of confusion
Right.
between which board a student should select, a kid should select. So we have so many boards like IGCSE, we have CBSE, we have ICSE,
Yeah.
now we have IB.
Yeah.
So can you, demystify this entire concept of what are the different differences between all the boards, all the four boards that I
Right.
just mentioned?
Uh, I think first of all, every board has a personality, has a unique approach. It all comes down to what is your personal goal and requirement and the child's profile.
Hmm.
Just to share some insight, uh, I have done my schooling in ICSE board till my 7th,
Hmm.
and then shifted to the Cambridge board, that is the IGCSE,
Hmm.
from my 8th to 12th. So that's called the A level, my 12th grade.
Hmm.
Uh, but at the same time, I've been exposed to IB, CBSE, all the both being in education industry. Just sharing from my insight, CBSE is more uh, exam focused.
Hmm.
NCRT framework in general is the platform on which any competitive exam is designed in India,
Hmm.
whether it is NEET or JEE or CACPT or including the UPSC exams
Hmm.
for that matter, or even any state public service commission exams as well. So NCRT is like the kind of the bedrock and the broad framework on which any competitive exam is designed. CBS is more exam focused, and preparedness will be higher in
Hmm.
CBSE.
Hmm.
In ICSE, it is very text rich,
Hmm.
very language focused, and broad. The breadth is also good. Coming to IB, IB is again very, very interesting. The approach is inquiry based. It is project-based learning. It is interdisciplinary learning. So, in fact, I mentioned about this earlier as well, where you teach math along with every subject, right?
Yeah.
So, interdisciplinary learning is all about uh, uh, embracing the idea that no subject can be taught in silos.
Yeah.
No subject can be taught in compartmentalized approach.
Yeah.
So, when you step into real life, you actually can't distinguish and separate a scenario into this is math, this is science, this is whatever, right? So, this approach of interdisciplinary learning is all about teaching multiple subjects together in a unified way, where you pick up these units of inquiry. They have different projects, and in the process of completing the project, we learn math, we learn science, we learn language, we learn everything.
Yeah.
That's a very holistic approach. Coming to IGCSE, again, the depth of the subject is very, very high. It is less horizontal and more vertical. So, uh, you want to pick up particular set of subjects which you think is going to be a future after your 12th. Then Cambridge is going to give you an ultimate vast curriculum, vast scope, and a very, very in-depth knowledge. And when I was pursuing my A level, many times I've seen my teachers, even today also, mention that A level curriculum of Cambridge, 12th grade Cambridge curriculum, is equivalent to the vastness of our master's degrees in India. That is the kind of depth and very, very intense. So, IB is known for the breadth, and IGCSE is known for the depth. And in India, ICSE is good for language rich, broad knowledge, and CBSE is good for exam preparedness. Yeah.
Got it. Amazing. Now, those are some really nice insights you gave. But how do parents decide uh, how do parents really decide where their child will fit in which board? So if you can give our viewers an understanding of, say, if the child is good with communication and social
Correct.
listening, for example, they might fit in an IB board, for example, right? Because it's more practical, hands-on learning. I mean, I'm not an expert at that, but maybe you can just kind of give an overview of what is
Yeah.
the personality of the child
Yeah.
and in which board he or she could fit in.
So I think fundamentally, it depends on the child's personality, as I mentioned. So if the child is very creative, is very vocal, as you rightly said, like creative and communication is good. Definitely, IB is something where they might tap into the potential.
Yeah.
At the same time, if a child is obviously exam driven, they're clear that they want to stay back in India and they want to become a professional. Like you, professional, like you want to become a doctor or you want to become a lawyer, you want to become a CA. You have to stay back in India, right? So because you need a license to practice in India, you'll become an architect, for example, whatever. Like so, any professional courses requiring Indian higher education and a license to practice here would uh, uh, require NCRT preparedness, and CBSE would be great for them. And uh, uh, who are focused on going for higher education studies to abroad, and especially want to specialize in one niche, one subject, and kind of become subject matter experts in that arena. Cambridge board would be again very, very suitable because the level of depth of the subject in A level would give them a very different edge and head start compared to the other boards, and that will help them to crack their higher education also, like undergrad, masters also.
Yeah.
The journey will become easier.
Yeah.
But at the same time, today, if you understand, when we are embracing the new education policy, NEP of Government of India, CBSE has also undergone a significant transformation. It has become more flexible. We can pick and choose subjects what we want to learn.
Yeah.
It has become future ready. Things like coding are mandatory now, and international standardization and getting our board on par with international standards has also gone up, and examination pattern has also changed from a mere rote learning to application based.
Yeah.
So you just can't by heart a formula and score 100 on 100 today.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So the exam pattern also is definitely changing.
Yeah.
And with NEP, definitely CBSE is also kind of got back its charm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Amazing. I think these are really valuable insights,
Yes.
because a lot of people have this confusion that which board should I send my child to, and parents always thinking or confused,
Right.
right? So these are some very good insights you've shared. Now let's talk a little bit about your journey of building Nischal Smart Learning Solutions, right? Your company. So at the age of 15, you started solving complex problems, whether it was maths, physics, chemistry, where you created these portable labs and took them to schools, government schools. What is that one frustration that pushed you to act?
So one of the I think greatest uh, consequences of my achievements during my childhood of achieving the Guinness Records or the World Championship or all these achievements, the best consequence of this was that I used to get invited to a lot of schools across India. They just to address the kids, give motivational lectures, and across India, across the world. So I've been to uh, hundreds of schools uh, across every state in the country and almost in 35 countries internationally. And this gave me a very, very deep insight into the education system, uh, into the teaching methodology, the pedagogical approach, into the challenges faced by the learners. When I got such a deep insight into the dynamics of the ecosystem and understood the gaps where the learners and teachers are facing and struggling to kind of converge, that's when I thought there's a huge scope to do some very solid, meaningful academic research,
Yeah.
develop some innovative educational products
Yeah.
that can add value to the quality of education in our schools.
What is that deep insight or learning that you saw at that point that you were
So,
wanting to solve for?
first thing, observation is uh, in India, uh, we have 1.6 million schools, that is 16 lakh schools, out of which about close to 9 lakh schools are government schools, and there are about approximately 6.5 to 7 lakh private schools. More than 90% of Indian schools do not have lab infrastructure. This was a very, very shocking observation when I used to tour the schools. They don't have the space, they don't have the infrastructure, they don't have sufficient equipments or models, or uh, in most of the schools, they didn't even exist. I'm not talking about under resourced labs, I'm talking about zero labs. So, this was when I realized 1.3 million schools approximately don't have labs in India,
Yeah.
which is a very, very big gap to address.
Yeah.
And that's when, because we talk about portable labs, that's when our research began about developing an affordable alternative solution to address this gap. After almost 7 years of research, we designed the world's first portable labs, math lab, physics, chemistry, biology, different subjects, where instead of taking a child to a laboratory, the lab is brought to the classroom. And in the classroom itself, teachers teach all the concepts practically with experiments every day. So,
Yeah.
you're transforming the classroom into a lab.
Yeah.
And the portable lab is hardly about like 2 square feet of height
Yeah.
and very small, very compact. But when you open it, there are thousands of tools.
Okay. So, Nishchal, I was keen to ask you that I know you guys create 3,000 plus experiments with these portable labs, especially in government schools where you have a tie up with more than 5, 6, 7,000 government schools across India. So, and you do it at one fifth the cost
Yeah.
compared to, say, traditional labs. So, how is that possible?
So, Just to share my insight, so I think one of the best consequences of my childhood achievements, uh, after achieving my Guinness World Records and the different accolades, was getting an opportunity to visit and tour uh, hundreds of schools across the country and also outside India, where I was invited to address the students to give some motivational lectures and inspire them. And in my journey of visiting hundreds of schools in every state and in the country, and in more than 30 plus countries internationally, I've got a very deep insight into the education system, into the gaps faced by the learners and the teachers, and we could identify the dynamics of the ecosystem, and uh, that deep insight into the ecosystem has what inspired and motivated me to start Nischal's Smart Learning, our education company, to continue academic research, do some solid, meaningful uh, work to develop innovative educational products that would contribute and add value to the quality of education, especially in math and sciences. And one of our biggest observation was, uh, just to talk about India, we have over 1.6 million schools in India, and more than 90% of the schools lack any kind of lab infrastructure. So more than 90% of schools in India lack proper lab infrastructure because of space, financial, and operational constraints. So just imagine all these millions of kids are just studying through chalk and talk approach. That's when I got the idea of designing the world's first portable lab, where instead of taking a child to a laboratory, the lab is brought to the classroom, and every day, every concept is taught with experiments and activities in the classroom itself. And just about 2 square feet of size, doesn't occupy any space. But when you open the lab, it has thousands of tools because it's micro scale in nature. It's very small, miniature. So in the classroom itself, on the teacher's desk, you can demonstrate all the experiments, and every day you can teach in a hands-on approach, converting the classroom into a laboratory. And they have their own power source, own heat source, own light source. More than 3,000 experiments can be performed aligned with the curriculum, covering the entire syllabus. And it overcomes the space constraint because it's comes in a small box. Just 2 square feet of space, like a small corner can be stored.
How much are these labs priced at?
So it's about 1/5 of the cost of a conventional lab. If say it costs about say approximately 6 to 7 lakh rupees to set up a conventional lab, plus the 1,000 square feet of space, say for a physics or chemistry lab, our lab would cost anything in the range of 1.25 lakhs. So it's very affordable, 1/5, 1/6 of the cost, and also in terms of operational convenience, the equipment is very advanced in terms of user friendliness. Teachers can easily adapt and can be easily trained on that, and it is mapped to the curriculum. So teachers know what activity to perform to teach what concept. So that whole ecosystem of bringing an activity-based learning mapped to the curriculum is a big game changer. And today, uh, our patented labs are implemented in 8,000 plus schools, impacting more than 1.6 million children in 20 states of India and almost 10 countries internationally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's such a great achievement. Wow. So, do you remember the first time when a school said yes to your solution? What was that moment like?
The first school which uh, implemented my math lab, which was the first product before the other products came out. The first school which implemented math lab was my own school where I studied.
Okay.
So that was a very beautiful moment where being a student of the same school as just about 11-year-old child in fifth standard, I could kind of add some value to the school's ecosystem. And in fact, the first sale proceeds of our product was in fact contributed to Nischal Foundation, our philanthropic arm, through which we support a lot of children from underprivileged background, meritorious kids from financially weaker background, and we conduct a lot of summer camps, scholarship tests, a lot of initiatives we support, and we uh, contribute our products also to deserving schools from underprivileged backgrounds. So a lot of philanthropic work also happens
Very nice. Very nice.
alongside.
Yeah.
And also, along with portable labs, we have evolved over time. And obviously, my vision for the company was obviously transforming conventional teaching and learning practices with innovative pedagogy and latest technology. These both are the pillars. So, innovative pedagogy is about kinesthetic learning.
Yeah.
That's fine for the portable labs. Latest tech. So, we were the first players in India to bring in AR, VR, immersive learning experiences many years back itself.
Yeah.
And so these technologies really leveraging these latest technologies creates a very immersive experience for the children and a fascinating learning journey
Yeah.
that will transform the process.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But along the journey, Nishal, do you feel like there was some resistance from schools, from the school principals in terms of adoption of this concept? Because it was a new concept, and
Yeah.
I believe you guys were the pioneers when you started
Yeah,
pitching
yeah,
this
absolutely.
concept.
We
So,
have been,
what
yeah.
was there any resistance back then?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, just to, I think, walk you through our journey, when I designed India's first math lab back in 2006, we coined the term as math lab. There was nothing which existed called as math lab back then. Later on, 10 years fast forward, CBSE board has actually made it mandatory
Oh,
that every school should have a mathematics lab to even get CBSE affiliation,
wow.
recognizing the need of the lab for the subject. We've always been the pioneers and instrumental in the policy changes from government side as well. And just like math lab, when we brought in the concept of portable lab, that instead of taking child to a lab, you bring lab to the classroom.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, how is this possible? What are the dynamics? How do you even use it? How is it even possible? Or the functionality of it? But then, of course, when we implemented in a few schools, showed the impact, got a positive feedback, created a lot of smiles among the children, then the scale has increased tremendously.
Yeah.
And even governments, obviously, we've done a lot of pilot projects, POCs.
Yeah.
Then we scale it up eventually over time.
Yeah. And what was the most surprising reaction that you got from students when you implemented these AR, VR technologies in the experiments itself?
So first of all, students were fascinated just seeing the sheer excitement among them, the glow on their face, the spark in their eyes, right?
Yeah.
That's something which is very, very gratifying for us. And trying to make the learning journey uh, more immersive, more meaningful, and more enjoyable was our goal. To bring in the joy of knowing, joy of knowing new things, of learning new things. So we could achieve that vision through these initiatives.
Yeah.
And when we saw kids just enjoying the process of learning subject,
Yeah.
that is the most gratifying thing.
Yeah. And say if I walk into a classroom where your kids are learning through your labs,
Yeah.
what difference will I see in kids who are learning through your lab experiments
Yeah.
vis-a-vis, say, other traditional classrooms?
Conventional methods.
Yeah.
I think first of all, I'm confident that kids who use our product in terms of labs or our AR/VR technology platforms, first thing is they would definitely overcome the phobia of math and science. That's for sure. There's a much higher happiness index. There's a much faster grasping of conceptual clarity, and there have been instances where teachers could complete an year-long curriculum in just 3 months. that is 9 months of academic curriculum,
Yeah.
in just 3 months. That is 3x faster,
Hmm.
leaving a lot of room for reinforcement. There's a better engagement between the students and teachers,
Yeah.
better bonding, and most importantly, the wow factor in the classroom.
Yeah.
When a teacher brings in some equipment, arranges a demonstration of an experiment,
Yeah.
does an activity, and shows some wonderful animated content through VR headsets or AR devices, that excitement, the wow factor, and the inquisitiveness, and that amount of, I think, passion for the subject is definitely quite a very remarkable difference we have made
Yeah.
in the schools.
And did you see kids started receiving higher scores or grades
Yeah.
after they interacted with your labs and conducted experiments for science and maths?
It's a natural consequence. I mean, obviously, like when you are good at something and you are liking the subject, you are able to understand it better, learn it faster. Getting better scores is obviously a natural consequence. So ultimately, academic performance is the yardstick to measure child's knowledge and journey. That is definitely very good results we have seen. But the process of how we are getting there is what is very important.
Right.
So whether you're getting first rank by cramming the subject or by enjoying the learning process through all these initiatives and methods.
Right.
So definitely we've observed a very high happiness index, a wow factor, better engagement between students and teachers, and the consequence of this is better marks.
Better marks,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, somewhere I was reading in one of your interviews that you had said that half of Indian schools will use AR and VR technology in the next 3 years. So, what will classrooms look like, say, in 2030?
So I again, this is my wishful thinking, and this is what I would imagine it to be, and what I would want it to look like. So obviously, the moment you walk into a classroom, I think the dream classroom would be where every classroom is like a laboratory, a place of inspiration, experimentation, curiosity, everything, and uh, we have these obviously advanced hardware devices available now, where every child can plug into their VR headsets, have a very immersive experience of learning that concept, and collaborative learning model where every child's performance is kind of analyzed, and uh, dashboard is given to the teachers to access, and even teachers use the basic even smartphones to use our AR content, where advanced 3D animated content, you can have 3D simulations, walkthrough experiences, quizzes, games, puzzles on the platform, which make the whole process very, very interesting and exciting. And at the end of the day, again, as I mentioned earlier, technology is a productivity booster tool, right? So this will augment teachers' efforts. This will make the learning journey better. Ultimately, teacher is the driving factor. That's it all revolves around the teacher. They're just co-pilot for teacher.
Will teachers lose jobs because of technology?
Not at all. Not at all. Sorry,
So, what's that one big lie we've all been told about the education system
right.
that people should stop believing?
Oh, no, I think the biggest misconception or a very wrong preconceived notion is that you get good marks, your life is sorted out. You're uh, you're gonna have life as a cakewalk, and that is something which is, I think, a biggest lie, which is not true. As I mentioned earlier, marks do open doors, but your actual knowledge, subject, rigor, your skills will matter, and that will keep you inside. And just by scoring well, doesn't mean that your life is sorted out and it's going to take care of itself.
Yeah.
That's a starting point.
So, Nishal, why do some students fail even after working so hard?
See, first of all, exams in India or in general across the world are not just a test for your academic knowledge. It's a more of a psychometric test. which test your stress quotient and time management and many things, many aspects. Your ability to articulate things, your ability to present in a structured manner, your ability to manage time very well. So exam is a psychometric evaluation. It is not just about knowing a formula or knowing a theorem. A holistic approach is required for the child to excel, and that involves a lot of planning, a lot of practice, a lot of consistent efforts, and preparation. So if you're running on a treadmill, right, you're sweating but you're not moving anywhere, right? You're at the same place, right? So the same way, if you're preparing for an exam without the right strategy and going in a unilateral direction, just by say learning things or by hearting things, that will not get you anywhere. A very holistic strategy is required to crack the exam, which it involves stress quotient, managing your time, managing the way of structuring your answers, and obviously your academic knowledge. But at the same time, even a smallest thing like your handwriting depends a lot for examination. At what pace you write the answers, and with what clarity you write them. So there are multiple factors involved in this, and it's holistic preparation and preparedness. Yeah.
Amazing. Do you think are toppers really the smartest kids, or do they have an extraordinary memory, in your opinion?
But definitely, obviously, smart in terms of acquiring knowledge and presenting it as per the examination standard. But obviously, if all of them are all of them life smart, maybe, may not be. Uh, and I think it's most important to be life smart than system smart. System means education system smart.
Yeah.
That's what I believe in. Yeah.
Nice. And finally, what is the biggest learning that you want a child or a student to take out of this show today?
There are various types of personalities among children and various types of intelligence among children. Everyone is unique. Everyone has their own talent and skill. Believe in yourself. Be bold to learn new things, explore new opportunities, identify your passion, nurture your skills, and excel in your own field. Yeah.
So, guys, we're going to do a very fun and exciting experiment with Nischal, who is in the studio with me today. Well, as you would know, that he's been a double Guinness World Record holder for memory learning, and he's memorized thousands, 4,000, 5,000 numbers altogether, and I think that is no mean feat. So today I will be giving him 50 numbers to remember. I'm going to say it out slowly, and once I've said all those numbers, he'll be memorizing those numbers, and you'll see the magic happen. So stay tuned. 73,
Okay.
20,
Okay.
87,
Mm-hmm.
75,
Okay.
44,
Okay.
81,
Okay.
25,
All right.
58,
Okay.
20,
Okay.
65,
Okay.
34,
Okay.
41,
Okay.
95,
Okay.
68,
Okay.
39,
Okay.
95,
Okay.
62,
Right.
1313,
Okay.
1919,
Okay.
56,
Okay.
32,
Okay.
89,
Okay.
78,
Okay.
62,
Okay.
23.
Okay. Cool. So there are 50 numbers. So I'll try to recall all of them
Yeah.
uh, in the same sequence.
Yes.
73,
Yep.
20,
Yes.
87,
Yes.
75,
Yes.
44,
Yes.
81,
Yes.
25,
Yes.
58,
Yes.
20,
Yes.
65,
Yes.
34,
Yes.
41,
Yes.
95,
Yes.
68,
Yes.
39,
Yes.
95,
Yes.
62,
Yes.
13,
Yes.
19,
Yes.
56,
Yes.
32,
Yes.
89,
Yes.
78,
Yes.
62,
Yes.
23.
Yes. Oh my God.
Done.
How did you do this?
All are correct.
What? Yes, all are correct.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Oh my God, I am just speechless. I don't know what to say.
Thank you. Thank you.
How do you do this? What was going on in your mind? Oh my God. Let me take 2 minutes to even understand what just happened right now. There were 50 digits.
Yeah.
How the
Random
hell did
digits.
you do this? What was going on?
No, first of all, it's the power of photographic memory. So, obviously, getting trained from a young age to convert any information into pictures and remember them in a systematic sequence in my mind is the technique of photographic memory.
So, were you associating the numbers with some pictures?
Yeah. So, like, I associate every number with a picture and try to remember it in a systematic
So, like, say
sequence.
73. What were you imagining 73?
So, basically, this again comes back to phonetics.
Hmm.
Every number
Hmm.
with the help of phonetics, I associate every number with a picture. So,
Hmm.
for me, 73 means actually a camera.
Hmm.
So, and I place this camera at a location in my mind.
That's what you thought when
Yeah,
you
so
were thinking.
a location
Wow.
of my house, say, and then the number 20 is actually a biscuit packet. So, and that also I place in a location. In a systematic sequence, I kind of walk through my mind and remember all the numbers.
I am
Just a bit of
just
practice and.
completely zapped right now. Oh my God, this was so fantastic. Wow,
Thank
you are
you.
amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
That's
And
why
this is a skill every child can learn.
that's why I
And
call you a human calculator. You're a child prodigy. Whatever I say is
no,
not enough. This is such amazing, Nischal. Amazing, amazing. I just don't know. I'm in loss of words right
no,
now.
thank
So
you,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much for being here and
My
doing
pleasure.
this. And I'm sure the viewers will really enjoy watching this segment as well. And
Thank you,
I've
thank you.
thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. So thank you again for being there.
Thank you so much. And this memory show is just a small glimpse into how powerful our human mind is. And every child can learn these techniques and master their focus and concentration, harness their potential of human mind.
Yeah.
So it's a very small glimpse into what is the power of our human mind.
Yeah.
So I strongly urge every child to pick up memory also as a mind sport, as a hobby, and that will really sharpen their focus and concentration and make their uh, life much better. That's for sure. Yeah.
Thank you so much and really thoroughly enjoyed this
Thank you. Thank you.
conversation. Thanks again for being
Thank you.
here.
Thank you.